That's your man of the cut.
Stop it like it's hot, baby. It's Streakers Island Podcast. How's it going, everyone? It is I, Jacob Moore, the self-proclaimed sports analyst.
Is
Joined
the
by...
dancing over? I wanted to dance.
I have no idea who that is. I hear a voice, but I don't see anyone. It might be John Cena. And, of course, we have Mr. Moore for your money.
Woo!
And Lane Dashing Dashco. What a crazy weekend of football.
Yes.
A couple big games on Saturday, and I don't think anyone expected the first one to be the most exciting. But the Toronto Argonauts versus BC Lions was one hell of a game. Toronto scored so many touchdowns. The people carrying the flags looked exhausted because there's these big flags that they carry when they score. It says Argos. They're like, by the end of it. Because the Argos
are Calgary, they have a horse.
2 points against the BC Lions. Nick Arbuckle had his best start in his CFO career, throwing 430 yards, 3 touchdowns through the air.
Crazy.
And on top of it, he's like, I'm just going to use my legs and also get a touchdown on the ground. And for the first time all season, the Toronto Argonauts had a running game.
Woo!
Wow.
Spencer Brown, 19 carries, 85 yards, and a touchdown. Lane, you might be asking, who is Spencer Brown?
I didn't know what that was.
So the Argos brought him in a couple weeks ago, and he has just been absolutely – that game, he killed it. And Key, I'm glad you enjoyed the dance party. Maybe we'll have more Streaker Island dance parties. Who knows? But that game was fire. It was part 1 of my gas or ass. Okay, put that gas or ass in the comments, and we'll make sure we dive right into it. But I thought what was impressive to me is Toronto had no DeMonte Coxie. Yeah. Devontae McMahon gets injured in the first quarter. And it just didn't seem to stop this team whatsoever against BC.
I hate to say it, like, you don't wish anyone injured. And McMahon was okay. He did come back. But it was almost like when McMahon was injured, that gave Spencer the full confidence. Like, okay, this is my game now. And he took it over. And you think about all year, we've been questioning, not us on the island, but a lot of people in Maple Leaf Land, as I like to call it, that's questioning the quarterback situation with Nick Arbuckle. Us on the island have been questioning the special teams on the Argonauts. We've been questioning coaching of the Argonauts and leadership of the Argonauts. What after last night's game makes you rewind everything and say it was $1 million missing piece, really as simple as a winning game. You know, if we had a winning game at the beginning, would we be maybe 5-5 right now?
Well, no, you still had some games that you lost in special teams. I think the biggest thing was all three phases of football did enough. The defense slowed down Nathan Rourke. Going into this game, Lane, you were talking about Nathan Rourke could be an MOP candidate. And let's be honest, 20 for 31, 326, 2 TDs and an interception. Those aren't bad numbers, but they're not jumping off the page the way Nick Arbuckle's 430 and 3 TDs are they?
No, and as well, I did actually watch the majority of this game on the TV, and at the start of the first quarter, I'm like, oh boy, Jacob and Dan are gonna be furious because it felt like Nathan Rourke was really getting going there early on there, where it just felt like he could not be stopped. Those first 2 drives, 2 touchdowns down the field, was just zinging the ball, and I'm like, oh boy, this is gonna be a long night. But Nick Arbuckle stuck in there, and then, of course, the game-changing play, that interception that led to the touchdown in it. What a second quarter you guys had there without scoring them 18 points there, 25-7. That was the quarter you guys just decided we're not letting this game get away from us, and you're not going to beat us tonight. And you guys just went out there and played good football. I got to give credit. The Argos actually played. I was getting worried. I was like, oh boy, this is going to be an ugly game. I was like, oh no. But you guys, your team proved me wrong, and they played great. I thoroughly enjoyed this game. It was a blast to watch. I couldn't imagine being live, being in the energy down there, and maybe that helped a little bit too, right? Having good energy, having
19,000 people on attendance.
It's just under 19,000.
All the noise in the background too, like seeing people having fun. It's just a vibe to be down there. But good game.
I did want to mention, which this is interesting, the Argos do this versus other attendance numbers. So the Toronto Argos, when they announce their attendance numbers, it's tickets scanned, meaning they actually went to the game. Every other team does tickets sold. So there's
interesting.
2,000 fans there and around 20,500 tickets sold. Well, that is interesting.
Because when you think about it with the CNE, a lot of people might have just bought a cheap Argo ticket just getting CNE for free and not even bother going to the game.
Which to me makes zero sense. But we need to get to the comments because we have our first one of the night, a gas or ass. Gas or ass. The Toronto, BC, and Edmonton, Ottawa games excitement gives Labor Day excitement a run for its money.
Ooh.
You know what?
I
could see that because these were games I wasn't expecting to be as crazy as they were. And these games were just truly unbelievable. Now, Labor Day is a different beast. So I'm going to say ass, but it's like a nice ass. Not like my butt. Not like my butt. What about you, Mr.
Well, it depends what you're into. Some people like big butts.
Anyways, Dan, what we don't want to know about your preferences, but
no, not my preference, definitely not. But some people, and I'm not going to judge. Anyway,
I like big butts, and I can't not laugh.
Well, see, some people like it. Not my cup of tea.
I'm not going to sing anymore.
Do. Anyway,
I'm not singing anymore. That song.
Yeah, I's a good song, bro.
But I'm going to.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. While I'm on the screen in the middle here, I'm going to actually say gas to this because this happened 2 weeks ago where it felt like the CFL had this banger week. We had all these exciting games. Everyone was like, oh, the CFL is exciting. And then the next week, Jacob was like, the CFL is dying because all the games were
boring. Dying.
I'm joking. you were all like, oh, no, we're not going to get viewership anymore. But I don't know. I have a feeling that could happen. I'm going to say gas.
Ooh. Well, my answer, I didn't even think about it. I'm 100% ass. Yes, these games were great games, great for the league, great entertainment, great to watch on TV, great to be there. But it comes down to the Labor Day games. It's more than just a game. It's as close to a playoff game as you're going to get without being in the playoffs because of the history of the rivalry. Yeah, Toronto and BC can chirp back and forth. Yeah, Ottawa, Edmonton were chirping back and forth. But, you know, Labor Day weekend is as close as a bloodbath as you're going to get in football. And that's why it's so fascinating to watch. And a lot of people say the season doesn't even start until Labor Day, right? That's kind of when the gears start going in playoff time. And you start seeing players fight for an extra half of the yard they might have not at the beginning of the year, right? So, interesting question, but I'm going to have to say ass. No, I'm not saying that. I said it was an interesting question.
However, I'm going to flip this a little bit and say because of those two games, Labor Day weekend just became that much more interesting.
Yes.
Because you have now Toronto at Edmonton, who, let's be honest, I think a lot of people thought their seasons were done. All of a sudden, you're just like, I'm even saying it for Toronto, the way Montreal's slowing down, the way I think Nick Arbuckle is really found his way as a starter. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things now that all of a sudden you're looking like you're right there. And we got a comment here from Streakers Gaming, best app in the world, better than any app you've ever used. Dan didn't even believe apps existed at one point. But we set the over-under too low for game one, and absolutely. So we set the yes or less to 65.
And we broke up. Yes. Less.
You did say
Chazzy said less?
So did you.
No, I said yes. I said over.
I think I said way over that
too. Try to trick me. I said this game was going to be a shootout. I just had no idea.
Mind you, we said a lot of these too low. Argos only 50 combined rushing yards. They got over 104. I think they had about 140.
Wow.
Nick Arbuckle 280 yards and a TD. Practically had that in the first half. Nathan Rourke, though, I believe he fell a little short at 335 and 2 TDs is what we had him set to.
326.
He hit 326.
Whoa.
A little short, and he threw an interception.
Yeah. From
We also
Benjamin
had-
Franklin, the president.
We also had Butler for a combined 130 yards. He did not hit 130 yards combined. He had 0 yards through the air, 83 through the ground. So he had a strong game running.
I was surprised they didn't use him more.
Well, I think the problem was for that. I think they got down and then they were down so much because Toronto just kept scoring.
Okay, maybe explain this to me. Maybe I'm
scoring. And no, like in all honesty, the Toronto Argonauts, that offense was just absolutely flying.
Maybe
the Argos have one of the best offenses for points per game in the entire league right now. They're sitting at 277 points over 10 games. Like the only teams that are better are Hamilton and Hamilton. That's
Hamilton.
Toronto is the second most potent offense in the league. The issue is they also allow the most points in the league.
Maybe call me crazy. Maybe I'm bad at coaching football. I don't know. But why is it every time you're down a lot they just stop the one game?
Well, because you're not going to get the same yardage. But in CFL, when you're down 3 scores in the third quarter, you don't need to go away from the run game. So I don't know why they did.
Well, yeah, exactly.
And I don't know if you guys felt this when you were watching the game. I felt as soon as Nathan Rourke threw that pick, the coaching staff lost all confidence in him.
I agree with that.
Because all of a sudden, you look at the end of the second quarter with about 30 seconds left, they're just taking a knee. Yet that's odd in the CFL. Starting at around the 40-yard line, too, you're expecting them to try to put up some points.
And as much as we've poked fun of Nathan Rourke on the island because of his comments to the CFL, I don't know why we lost confidence in him over one pick because he's had a phenomenal
had a
season.
decent game.
Yeah,
this is probably Rourke's worst game over the last month, and he still went 20 for 31, 326, and 2 TDs in it.
That's what I mean. It's actually worst game. You're doing pretty good.
No kidding.
But
Ford couldn't even hit 50 in the game.
Yeah, Trey Ford's if Nathan Rourke's Mr. Clipboard, Trey Ford's going to be water boy.
No, he's not that bad.
I kid. But it is interesting for BC. Like, they didn't spread the ball around nearly as well as they had been other weeks. Like, pretty much Hatcher and McInnes were your two main ones. But, like, Katori was only targeted 5 times. Eberhard only 4. Berryhill only 3. Butler only got 1 pass in the offensive game.
Why was that, do you think?
I think when they were down, they were just trying to rip it downfield, and your big targets downfield are Hatcher and McInnes.
Like, yeah.
So that's where it's tough, right? But I think BC got a little bit away from their game plan. I just don't think they were expecting the Argos without Dominic Coxey to be able to put up 52 points.
No,
and,
I didn't.
Jake Harshlow, 5 catches, 149 yards, 2 touchdowns. Dejan Brissett, which congratulations are in order. First ever 100-yard career game in the CFL. Let's give him a round of
Really?
applause.
Wow, good on him. I thought he would have had that by now.
Round. And too, Kevin Mattal as well, Mr. Consistent. 8 targets, 7 catches, 63 yards, and a TD. And Spencer Brown, too, 3 for 3 in the back end on receiving as well. 34 yards. So the Argos spread the ball really well. Funny enough, the quiet night was Davaris Daniels, only 2 catches, 2 targets for 21 yards. He's had a quiet year.
He has.
But again, Unger, so you just see Toronto, they had, they had their big boys, but Ungerer got involved a lot, Mattel got involved a lot, and Herslow really stepped up. I think he's a guy this team's going to start using more and more in the offense. But I see in the comments, we have another one. Yeah.
Another one.
Ass. Okay, gas or ass? Regardless the score, Calgary was the worser team Saturday night. All those penalties based on emotion. I'm sorry, Key, we're going 2 for 2 on the ass. I thought Calgary completely demolished the Rough Riders and it wasn't even close.
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
Saskatchewan did not play well. I thought Trevor Harris looked lost. Actually, I think Trevor Harris got injured. I blame the coaching staff for putting him back in another drive. When he stood up, he almost fell back over. Reminded me of Tunga Tungaloga. Almost, not quite to the same extreme, because Harris was able. It's like Harris stood up and he was like, "What's up on the noise?" He did not look right. So, I mean, yeah, there were a lot of both teams took some bad penalties in that one, but we may as well start talking about that game a little bit, and then
I would say ass on that one too. I feel like Saskatchewan lost away, but I also feel like Calgary played very well. What do you think, Mr. Daskell?
I'm going to say ass on that one. I think you'd be the worst team if you won the game, but
I mean, they did take a lot of penalties, but I get Keith's point. Like, the penalties were Calgary took 77 yards on 5 penalties. Saskatchewan took 50 yards on 4. But the penalties Calgary took were stupid. The majority of them, I think out of the 7, out of the 5, I think 3 of them were like after play penalties.
Yeah, but you still won.
You still won. My bigger question is,
which is crazy.
And
usually you don't win.
I know we usually don't, what's the most boring position to talk about? The kicker. But we're going to talk about the kicker. And we're going to talk about Brett Lothar.
Oh my God.
There's zero confidence in Brett Lothar.
I think someone's house is getting egged.
Which, by the way, that actually happened to him before when he missed a kick.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's going to happen
a bunch of
again.
fans went and egged his house. Don't do that, please. We here on the Streakers On podcast do not condone egging people's houses unless it's Dan's.
This is your house.
Mine. So maybe just egg his car.
No.
You wouldn't even care. You don't even wash it. But
it's too much rust on it.
But we look at Brett Lothar, and I don't know if Dan might have been sawing logs, and Lane, I'm not sure if you saw the second game of the doubleheader. But there was a point in the fourth quarter when you were down 3 scores with 7 minutes left, 3rd and 5 on Calgary's 40. They went for it instead of kicking a field goal.
Oh, wow.
To me, that just showed there is absolutely zero confidence in Brett Lothar, who
I
missed
forgot
a
that happened, but
field goal to start the game.
That's brutal.
So they signed a new kicker, and I apologize. I forget his name the way Dan forgets his manners, sneezing without cutting his mic into Lane's ears.
Oh, sorry.
But you do wonder, was that Brett Lothar's last game as a Rough Rider?
It has to
seriously,
be, right?
like
that's got to be gas.
Straight up.
Let's go.
Dan calling for it.
I'm telling you, we got to make a show of this one day. It should be a whole show one day.
I agree. This should be. This might be a new thing coming out to a theater near you. I'm changing this a little bit. Gas or ass? The Saskatchewan Rough Riders should call up Boris Beatty immediately.
Gas.
Yes, gas.
Like, you have a kicker who I get really struggled in Edmonton last year, but Edmonton struggled at Edmonton last year.
Yeah.
And he's just became a Canadian citizen, so he's not going back to the States. He loves Canada more than Lane loves fried chicken. I think, Lane, you look like a KFC.
Definitely not.
No, we had KFC for dinner, so good thing we didn't invite you.
Well, Mary Brown's?
No, I don't really care about fried chicken.
Popeyes.
No, I'm not really big into the fried chicken. It really hurts the digestion, man.
What's that good one? What's a good one that closes on Sunday?
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A, yeah, Chick-fil-A.
No, I'm not a huge fan.
Wow.
I'll eat it once in a blue moon, but very rarely.
But chicken wings is a go, though.
I like chicken wings. I just don't like those, like, that deep fried, like, really greasy chicken.
Sense.
I disagree with you. That's ass, Lane. That's ass. No, I'm kidding. But
it hurts.
No, I think Saskatchewan needs to be calling up a guy like Boris Beatty with a lot of CFO experience, who's won a Grey Cup.
Cups, I think.
Just go get him. He's a great leader too in the dressing room, because there is zero confidence.
He's a car guy.
There is zero confidence in Brett Lothar.
Yeah.
And I actually feel bad for him. Like he seems like such a great guy. But I mean, you can't put that whole loss on him because Saskatchewan only played one good quarter of offense. That's
no,
not
I wouldn't say the actual game was his fault, but the fact you are, because regardless how bad the game was yesterday, facts are you still have the best record in the CFL. I don't know about
Now.
the power rankings yet, but you have the best record in the CFL. So you can't go into playoffs with the best record in CFL and not have confidence in your kicker. You just can't do that.
So I think you got to go address it.
Yeah.
So
So
you
my
get-
gas and ass. Well, Lane, before I say that, do you think they should call Boris Beatty gas or ass?
I said gas.
Oh, you did. Sorry, my bad. So my gas and
You
ass,
idiot.
my gas and ass. I say gas and ass. I like that. My gas. And Will the Rough Riders start a different kicker from Black Lawler on the next game? Gas or ass?
I'm going to go gas. I think you have to.
Yeah, I'm saying gas too.
I don't know who it is. I don't know if you just go to your nearest Safeway and see if you find someone who's like kicking boxes of cereal and say you're in, kid.
They
But
should
you
call
gotta-
up that guy that won $1 million at Wendy's like 25 years ago.
That was so
Give
awful.
over his Walker, bro.
What
What
do
do
you think, Lane?
Wade? Gas or ass?
I think it's gas.
Yeah. They gotta do somebody.
But
I don't
my
know.
bigger concern was Trevor Harris. Even before he got hurt, why have the last 2 weeks have been who can lose the MOP race? You have bullied by Mitchell last week playing like complete crap. Then this week you have Trevor Harris who only showed up for one quarter.
It was not like him. It was odd to see.
Mind you, in the fourth quarter, like I said, I don't think he should have came back in that game. He was hit hard. The offensive line was a miscommunication, and they left Hicks unblocked.
Yeah.
And full steam, just boom.
Well, I
Hashtag-
called it on our live show on Friday night there. I think this game was going to get a little bit chippy, and it did. You saw it wasn't a full-blown bloodbath, but you did see a lot of trash talking in between plays. You saw some questionable heavy contact out of bounds. You know, you saw some late hits to the quarterbacks and different things like that. It was a good old chippy football game. These two teams really don't like each other after that wild classic CFL bad air quality delay game. That was a crazy ride itself. But because of that, you know, and Saskatchewan playing so bad the game after, and you know, using that excuse when you're home was kind of silly in my opinion. But boy, those two teams do not like each other. What a playoff match that would be. Holy cow.
Well, and let's be honest, it's a very good chance it is a playoff match, and Saskatchewan is
so.
really hoping it's not. Because, and this is something interesting too from Vernon Adams Jr. I mean, statistically, it wasn't his best game. Wasn't terrible, but he went 14 for 21, 222, 3 TDs, and 2 interceptions. But he's only lost one game as a starter since he's joined the Stampeders.
That was just that one game.
And that was just that weird rain game. So, Lane, is it safe to say that VA has exceeded expectations in Calgary?
Oh,
so far?
1,000%.
Like, I think his expectation was to be good. I don't think the expectation was to make them arguably the best team in the CFL.
No.
Although, if you remember in our preview show,
Yeah.
I picked Calgary as my sleeper team.
Here's
Here's a team that I'm like, if things can go right, this is a really good team. Because they have so much talent. You gotta remember, they're doing this about Reggie Bangleton, Dominic Rhymes, Malik Henry, Alford was out for a while. Like, they're doing this with key players to the offense missing. Can you imagine once this receiving core is back? This team might be unstoppable.
That's the argument with the Rough Riders too, though. They are missing their top 3 receivers.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, they couldn't.
Crazy
Calgary
for
got it
8-2.
done.
For 8-2 without the top receivers, that's pretty nuts.
I understand that, but your 2 losses are not just losses. You're getting kind of smoked. Like, the game got close in the second quarter, in my opinion.
Did Saskatchewan have the lead at one point in second quarter? I think they did.
Yes. And they had the lead when they went up 1-0.
Well, yeah.
They got a room.
Whoa!
Different players, same Dickinson. The madness works.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Dickinson's proving maybe he wasn't the problem. I'm just gonna say it.
Because I
Proving
thought he
people
was.
like me wrong.
but-
I thought they were crazy keeping Dickinson.
Me too.
But you know what? I think with him having a quarterback, well, let's be honest. Any team you put Vernon Adams Jr. on it, besides a select few, are better.
And Dickinson's even said that himself, right? He said, he's having such a good year of a coach and a GM because of his quarterback and, his players, right? You only are good as your players are, basically, That's what he even said.
Well, very true. And but I'm thinking right now, you're looking at Calgary, and I don't know if there's a team right now playing better football than them in all three phases.
No, there's not.
The only team you could maybe argue that it's funny coming up to Labor Day, teasing it up a little bit, which we're going to have tons of Labor Day coverage. I think Edmonton might be able to give Calgary a run for their money the way Edmonton's playing. The way they control the ball.
Yeah, I can see that.
They really control the offensive and defensive line. The line of scrimmage is where football games are won and lost.
I can't wait to see power rankings on our pre-recorded show coming up on Monday morning, Tuesday morning. I forget when it comes out.
Tomorrow.
So we have to do a pre-record tonight too?
Yes.
Yes, Queen.
Oh, I forgot about that. Okay, busy night on the island.
But no, you're looking here now, and all of a sudden, Calgary, who when Vernon Adams was hurt, people were worried. Now they're only 2 points behind the Rough Riders. And what's crazy is too, they've only allowed 207 points over 10 games against them this year. So even if the offense is making some mistakes, the defense is so solid.
Right.
Now, mind you, is the defense playing well because the offense is staying on the field?
Well, that's a big part.
The argument, right? But their defensive line is probably the best in the league.
Oh yeah, well, that Flo,
Yeah, Flo, Hicks, Hitchinson, it's made a difference.
And with that trade, we're going to be looking at a trade all season because you think, it's a really even trade because Calgary got Flo, one of the best defensive lines in the league. And in return, we got Cameron Judge, one of the best defensive players in the league, top 3 in tackles, pretty well.
Top 10 linebacker.
Right? Yeah. But our defensive line, I think, is looking weaker since we don't have Flo and Smith.
I don't agree with you on that, actually. I think Toronto's defensive line has been one of the bright spots defensively.
Well, maybe they're getting mixed up with our offensive line.
Offensive line has not looked good this year. But defensive line, mind you, again, they got the defensive
line. Well, Chatfield is great in Toronto on defensive line.
Actually, that's something I want to bring up a little bit. I'm curious on your thoughts on this as well. Do you guys think Nathan Rourke was getting a little bit of special treatment on some of those roughing the passer calls?
100%.
No, for sure.
I thought they were
gas or ass?
Not gas or ass. No.
Why not?
It's just because I said so. But
okay. Well, you have the butt that goes. I don't.
I do.
I thought I'll be hitting it right now. Hit.
But I will say, I do think it was interesting. I was joking with some of the fans in BMO Field, and I said, I didn't know the BC Lions had Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah,
because they just felt like they were barely touching them, and they were calling it roughing the passer. Some of them were warranted. Don't get me wrong, but some of them were just finishing a tackle, finishing a sack, and he threw it as he's being hit. You have to be allowed to touch the quarterback.
Yeah, sorry, you.
I get they want to protect the quarterbacks, but
it's football. It's a contact sport.
Maybe we need a new one: Truth or Poop or Scoop. I don't know. I'm going crazy here. But at the end of the day, you know what? Over this weekend, over Saturday, we saw two teams keep their seasons alive. And now you look forward for both of these clubs, right? Of course, there's Labor Day weekend, which we all know that's arguably the biggest season in football. And this year it really is because all the games over Labor Day are so critical. Right, you have Winnipeg and Saskatchewan. If Winnipeg can win both of those games, they're first in the West. which is crazy to think about. You look at Toronto-Hamilton. Toronto has somehow kept their season alive, and Hamilton's starting to struggle. Edmonton-Calgary. Edmonton has somehow kept their season alive, and Calgary's looking like the best team in the league. So can Edmonton find a way? I think this will be a very interesting Labor Day, I think. But
yeah,
it will be, yeah.
Just to look ahead, and this is why when people on one of our shows earlier in the week, when I said the Argos stood a chance to make the playoffs and people were laughing at me. Well, 50 Cent might have performed at the halftime show for the Lions, but the Argos put up the big 50 this week. But now you have Toronto, and you look, all the teams you're chasing besides Saskatchewan and Calgary, you're playing. And that's the difference in the CFL. Truthfully, if over their next 4, they can lose 1. They got to go 3-1 in their next 4. And I hate saying it, but if you're going to lose 1, it has to be the game against Hamilton. Now, I hope they win, but
I've got a scary feeling about this Labor Day game.
It's going to be a crazy game.
I think the Argos are going to win for sure.
I don't. I think Ticats are going to take it.
What is going on?
I hope the Argos get it. I really do. I'll predict the Argos, but in reality, I think as a sports analysis, I mean, history repeats itself. Ticats always win on Labor Day. Argos always win in playoffs. You know, that's just Labor Day. Ticats get the home field advantage, and it's going to be a crazy game. Like, we were looking at prices on StubHub for the Labor Day game. Like, bad seats are over $100 a ticket right now.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You know what, though? I'm going to put this out there. I spent $100 on Labor Day and day of the week before $100 at 500s in the Jays. I'm calling it.
Oh, I agree with you. Yeah, 100%.
But you're looking at the schedule for Toronto, and this is why I feel they still have a shot. If you beat Edmonton, Montreal, and BC again, I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but if you can do it, look, all of a sudden you've beat 3 teams that you're chasing, and then you're up to 6 and 8. Potentially, all of a sudden that looks doable.
Yeah, I don't see it happening.
Well, I am delusional. I have upped it from my 10% belief to 14.65.
14.65.
There's still a chance, and I do feel the Argos will keep pushing until there's a chance. And I will say, if the Argonauts don't make the playoffs, I think this might be the most interesting offseason for the Argos in about 6 years.
I agree with that.
Because you're going to have some big questions.
Gas or ass?
No.
I will give you a gas or ass, though. Right.
Oh.
Meow. If the Toronto Argos were not a 3-8 club, Nick Arbuckle would be in the MOP conversation.
100% gas.
Gas or ass?
Gas.
Gas.
I'm also saying gas, and I'm going to read you some statistics when you say, tell me why.
Ain't nothing but a heartache.
So Nick Arbuckle over 11 games has thrown 3,463 yards, 20 touchdowns to 10 interceptions.
I want it the Argos way. And my Jacob's fire is one.
The one I desire to see. John Cena. But I can't see him. Ah! But no, you're looking at Nick Arbuckle right now, right? And so 20 touchdowns to 10 interceptions. His interception rate per pass has dropped. When we were talking about it 5 weeks ago, his interception to pass ratio was 4.7%. It is now 2.5.
Wow, that's a big drop.
His completion rating is 71.8%, which is towards the top of the CFL for starting quarterbacks.
Almost Travis Harris numbers.
Trevor Harris at 74.6. Nick Arbuckle's at 71.8.
Well, he was at 77 before this past game.
Yeah, but he dropped quite a bit. But here's the interesting thing, too. So when Bo Levi Mitchell was nominated for the East last year, and I think deserved it, by the way. I think he deserved it. He was the best player in the East. I think it was right that it went to Brady Oliveira. I think Brady Oliveira was clearly the mop to my bucket. but he was definitely the mop. But Bo Levi Mitchell last year put up around 5,500 yards and 32 touchdowns. Nick Arbuckle is on pace for 5,600 yards and 33 touchdowns.
Crazy.
If the Toronto Argonauts find a way to make the playoffs and Arbuckle's numbers are still this high, he very well might not just be nominated for the MOP, he might win.
Yeah. Well,
And
you
if
think
he does, I'm sorry, Dan. I know you love him, but Chad Kelly will not play another snap as an Argo.
whoa.
Because it won't make any sense.
Yeah.
It just won't logistically make sense if you have a Grey Cup MVP quarterback who then finds a way to bring you back out of the dead from 2-8 to the playoffs. And I'm not saying they're going to make the playoffs. It's still a tough road. Even if they don't make the playoffs, I think there's going to be a conversation in that upper management group on what you do between Arbuckle and Kelly. Because I think you have two starting quarterbacks. I truly feel you have two starting quarterbacks.
If Arbuckle finishes the year this strong, then yeah, you'll 100% have that conversation. And, we almost had a conversation last year after the Grey Cup. Like, Nick Arbuckle, I know he had the most yards yesterday, but I still think this best game of his career was that Grey Cup game in Vancouver. I mean, he practically played a perfect game. I mean, you couldn't ask for anyone better. And at that point, he was your backup. But Hardly took a snap. I think he only started, 2 games all year. He comes to the Grey Cup against Winnipeg, which is debatably one of the best dynasties in a couple of decades of the CFL, and he beat them. So now you got a Grey Cup, and he won the MOP for the Grey Cup game. So if they do make the playoffs and he wins MVP, you got an MVP season, got you in the playoff guy, in fact, won you the Grey Cup and won you the MVP of the Grey Cup all within 12 months.
And I will say, too, I don't know if you're doing this
more
on social media even, the hatred is starting to leave Nick Arbuckle. Like, fans are starting to realize this guy has not been the problem this season.
No, not at all.
And
close to the issue.
I honestly think, because Nick Arbuckle will probably sign cheaper than Chad Kelly just because the name's not as exciting. Everyone was excited to have Jim Kelly's nephew, and that was part of the reason why, to bring in the face of the league into Toronto. I get it. You'll probably be able to sign Nick Arbuckle cheaper.
Yeah, Nick Arbuckle's no face of the league, but Chad Kelly wasn't just his name. He really had that.
He's got that swag. He's got Kelly. I get
William Nylander, for example. He had that swagger. He had that charisma. He's someone you could put up for poster boy of the CFL, and everyone will fall for it. Nick Arbuckle is like your neighbor's dad. He's just this nice, friendly, family man guy, which is fantastic, but he's not a face of the league type of guy. It was very
okay. So is he like Matthew Stafford to Patrick Mahomes?
It was very important for
and honestly
to have a face.
I'm quite happy if I have Matthew Stafford as my quarterback, and that's how I'm looking at this.
Well, I think you guys are just out to lunch. Like, if Nick Arbuckle brings this team into the playoffs somehow and wins them a Grey Cup, there's no way he's just going to be like, okay, give me a Tim Hortons double, and I'll play for you next year. You guys are going to have to decide.
No, Lane, you're definitely going to have to pay him. But Chad Kelly is the second highest paid quarterback in the CFL. I think Nick Arbuckle will make Vernon Adams money around that 400 to 450, not 6 to 750. That's more what I'm saying. He's going to get paid. Someone will pay Nick Arbuckle.
What's Nick Arbuckle make now? Like 180? Like
115. He's going to get a huge raise.
Huge raise.
But Lane, I do agree with you.
Saying,
just re-sign Arbuckle to the same contract. It's like, well, sure.
No.
I'd love to sign Austin Matthews for his rookie contract. It's not going to happen.
Exactly.
But Lane, I do agree with you. Nick Arbuckle is going to get paid.
You guys might have to make a tough decision next year.
Well, you're not going to keep both. I really don't, because I think someone, Winnipeg, is going to be calling Nick Arbuckle in the offseason and say, hey, do you want to be our starting quarterback?
Hamilton.
You know what? Bo Levi Mitchell's going to be old.
Bo Levi Mitchell retires.
What?
If Bo retires, and actually, I think Nick Arbuckle fits Milanovic.
Bo retiring?
Bo might retire. He wasn't sure if he was going to come back this year.
No.
He might retire so he can help his kids run their lemonade
To
stand.
be a year older, he may not be slower,
Maybe even Saskatchewan of Trevor Harris. He's 39.
I just gotta give a shout out quickly on the Nick Arbuckle conversation. I think it's his wife. I think I've seen her, I should say, at a few games. I've seen his kids on TV and stuff. He's got the nicest family. I give him huge kudos for that. Like, his kids are so well behaved and very nice family. They're just great people.
Yeah, they absolutely are. And I think Nick Arbuckle's a really good guy, and I think he has brought in a calmness into the locker room. But I just think if you're Toronto, luckily they don't need to make this decision now with Arbuckle and Kelly and the whole 9 yards. But I did say this to some people earlier. Even if Chad Kelly's healthy next week, I'm sure as hell not starting him. He's on the bench.
That'd be insane.
But right now, I think you can't make the same mistake the Lions made last year.
You think Kelly's going to be healthy next week?
No, not at all. But I'm saying if the tooth fairy comes down from the sky and takes his teeth, and then in return, instead of leaving a toonie under his pillow, apparently it's a toonie now. I'm glad I'm not a parent. It used to be like a quarter. Inflation. But she's gonna use her magic wand and fix Chad Kelly's leg. I am still starting Nick Arbuckle for Labor Day. I think
100%.
It's right now. I think this is Arbuckle's team, not
other than that, it's his team.
It's like, do you guys remember last year when BC was rolling? Vern Adams got hurt. Nathan Rourke wasn't allowed to hold clipboards anymore. Yeah. He came back to the Lions, and they just gave him the team back, and the dressing room never recovered.
I don't think they have yet.
I think they have now, but that season they never recovered.
Oh, I don't know. It's still some point. When we saw that BC versus Calgary game, there were a lot of BC players walking up a VA having a really good chat with them. There's still a lot of players from last year still in BC that supported BA over VAs to say over Wark, So
the thing is, though, Vern Adams Jr. is literally the most loved quarterback in the league. Everyone loves him.
Oh, yeah,
he's everyone's favorite uncle.
Yeah,
but all I'm saying is, like, at that point, I think this is Nick Arbuckle's team until the season is done. Whether you're eliminated from the playoffs, you don't make it to the playoffs, and you're eliminated mathematically, I think this is Arbuckle's team. Then you will see either maybe Chad gets in to see how his leg's recovering, or maybe you get to see Tucker Horn get in there, or Jarrett Dagey. But right now, this is definitely most like 100%. This is Nick Arbuckle's team until the season is meaningless.
Well, I could be guessing.
But I'm curious, what did you guys think of the Jays over the weekend? They did win the series.
Yep, good on them.
Well, I mean, Miami, some people were hoping for some brooms. They didn't get the sweep. But it's hard to sweep any team in baseball, in my opinion.
Really Miami's a sneaky team, like what Key said in comments a few episodes ago. Right? They're a little under 500, but for only 6 games under 500? Like, we're not a terrible team. And, in fact, all the games, even the game we lost today, was 5-3. Like, it was still competitive, right? Still a competitive game. So you didn't see any blowouts or duds or anything like that. So good on them.
And I think overall, all 3 starters over the series played pretty well. Goswin was probably a little bit of the shakiest one, but still 6 innings, 7 strikeouts.
Goswin wasn't
Shane Bieber. Holy moly.
Wait, do you have Bieber fever?
Oh, of course.
Baby.
And now I saw his face. Now I'm a believer.
Ba, 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 ba.
Not a trace. Doubt in my mind. We're all in love.
Hey, I'm a believer even if I try.
But we probably will.
So you gotta give the Jays huge credit here, because they took 2 pitchers this year, but everyone doubted and had them out. They're like, oh, these 2 guys are never going to throw a pitch again. And Max Scherzer at 41, and Bieber, who hasn't played in almost 12 months. They took a gamble on these 2 head start pitchers, and it paid out. Hopefully, Bieber's only 1 game. But if he continues to play this well, it paid off on these 2 giant gambles. So huge kudos to them.
And I got to say, I was watching that game, and it was incredible. Like, he gave up I was watching it, It's kind of like, he gives up the home run early, and you're like, oh no. And then he just decides, just from the third inning on, he's like, yeah, you're never hitting another ball, period.
Yeah.
I think it's crazy. I've never seen that in my. He struck out not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, 6, 7 guys in a row. I was like, what am I watching? What am I watching? It was just like strikeout, 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 strikeout. I was like, okay. I've never seen that. I mean, even people. I was at the Fallsview Casino, and we're all just sitting there like, what are we watching? It was just pandemonium. He'd have like 3 balls. He'd come back, boom, 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 like 2 balls, 1, 2, 3, just pound the strike zone, just boom, boom, just pounding the strike zone. It was crazy.
I've been missing strikeouts all year. I'm getting them all right now.
Literally, it was like 3. It was like he literally struck out this side, struck out the next. I'm pretty sure he struck out the next side.
Yeah, it was
incredible. I was like, what is going on?
Yeah,
They literally can't even touch the ball.
So how confident are we feeling in the Jays starting rotation? They're going to be starting all 6 of their starters coming up.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm feeling this is the most confident I've felt in a long time in the Jays pitching rotation.
I would say this is the most confident I felt since we had Price.
Yeah.
That was the last time we had Price. We had a few other good guys. I can't think of the top of my head at the moment.
Price was one of those. Price was weird. He was like Mitch Marner. He was really good in the regular season, and then the playoffs came. He was like, "Oh,
I know.
How do you play baseball again?"
I know. Yeah, he was. But I mean, that was the big buy we bought on trade deadline, right? And I would have given him one more goal. He wanted to stay, but anyway. But we had a few other good guys too. Who was the other good guy?
We had Marco Estrada, who was good.
Yeah, I liked him.
Strome was good.
Who?
J.A. Happ.
Who, Jacob?
Strome.
And who was the guy you said?
J.A. Happ.
Yeah, it's a Happ. Yeah, we had like 4 or 5 really solid starters.
And you had, pretty sure you said, I think I could be wrong. Pretty sure you had R.A. Dickey too.
We did have Dickey for a while. That's right. Yes, I think that was around the same time. Like we had 5 like really good, solid, heavy starters. And I feel like now between Beaver, Gosman, Scherzer.
Hoffman still scares me though. I don't know how you guys feel about the bullpen. I
was just going to say that. That's a weak point. I feel like Hoffman's a phenomenal closer. I'm very happy with him. But the bullpen is like, you know what? I really need my starting pitchers to get between 6 and 7 innings every game. And I might
That's hard to do though, Dan.
I know it's hard to do, but I might
changed a lot.
I might even consider putting Hoffman in the 8th. That's crazy.
No. I think Hoffman's having a good year, but I don't want to use him any more than 1 inning because he's still been a little inconsistent at times.
Yeah.
There's times where it's like it gets to, even in the game that they won the other day in extra innings, he could not close it.
I remember that. Yeah, that was a tough one.
But speaking of the Jays, though, before we wrap it up for tonight, let's quickly jump into the Streakers app and Toronto Blue Jays are back at home cooking to face the Minnesota. They're Minnesota, right? The Twins?
Yes.
Yes, they are. Okay, good. I thought so. I don't think they've relocated. And this is a series where, again, the Jays are rolling. Twins are coming off losing to the White Sox in their series. Twins are 59 and the Twins are 59 and 70. The White Sox are 46 and 83. Neither
I was gonna say White Sox is so bad.
Is a great team. So
the Jays do all the time.
Yeah, I know.
How confident are you guys feeling? Are you willing to aim for a streaker's point to get the Toronto Blue Jays with victory?
They're losing the first game.
They're losing the first game. Why, Lane?
Ooh.
Joe Ryan.
They're gonna joke. Okay, I'll tell you a joke.
So he said.
What should the janitor do if his house is dirty? Dan, don't answer. Lane, what should the janitor do if his house is dirty?
Clean it.
Work from home. Continue, Lane. I know you said choke instead of joke. I'm just being a jerk.
No, but like I don't know, Joe Ryan, man, such an elite pitcher. I mean, doesn't get enough credit on this team. He's a strikeout machine. He really likes to pound the strike zone. He's been really effective. He's arguably be up there in the Cy Young. He's not going to win the Cy Young, but he's definitely been up in that conversation. He's a really fantastic pitcher. He throws a lot of good pitches. He throws a lot of sneaky pitches as well. He's an all around stud. He's probably going to go 6, 7 innings, bunch of strikeouts. I think the Jays have a bit of a weaker starter pitcher lineup. I could be wrong. Someone
It's
wants
Max
to
Scherzer lined up.
Oh, it is Scherzer.
Scherzer, who I think has been getting better every
I'm still
start.
gonna pick the. I'll still pick the Twins because I think that Ryan has a slight advantage over Scherzer.
He does. Ryan's got a 2.96 ERA,
He's been really
Scherzer
good.
3.60. But I feel Scherzer's been looking better every game. Dan, who are you taking? Are you feeling what Lane's feeling?
I'm picking for Jays 100% and our future Hall of Famer to get the win.
By the way, do not go to steamboot.com, remove the spaces. Don't even at team.
Actually, this is a guy I wanted the Jays to get. I remember. I think
You
I
want the
remember,
Jays to
but
get Steamboot? Don't get that. It's not even
no.
real.
When we were talking about the deadline at the time, I was saying, I was like, this name
Joe
came up,
Ryan,
and I was like, if the Jays could have pulled this out of their hat, like I'm looking at his most recent start: 6 strikeouts against the Athletics, only 4 innings, 7 strikeouts against the Yankees in 6.5, 5 strikeouts against the Royals in 5, 4 strikeouts against the Royals in 6, 5 strikeouts against the Nationals in 5, 12 strikeouts against the Rockies.
Well, it's the Rockies, though.
8 strikeouts against the Rays.
I hate to say it. I'm kind of leaning toward Lane's side. It's going to be a very low-scoring game, but I do think the Jays a lot of times just to come back
no
from
Vladdy probably
usually struggled. Vladdy's probably not playing.
No, Vladdy played today.
Did he?
Oh,
He only took one bat, but he came in as a pinch hitter.
Oh, you got to be careful with that.
I know, but I'm just saying he could play.
Maybe.
I'm still gonna take the Twins. I think the Jays will win the series.
Same.
Because like you're looking, the next one is facing Bailey Ober, if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, OBER. And he's got a 5.05 ERA and is 4-7 as a starter. Where Joe Ryan's 12-6 on a bad team. So you know he's a good pitcher. Right, and then you got Bassett on the mound. Toronto can be looking for a bounce back game. So I think they'll win the second game of the series, but the first game I think I think the Twins will get it, but I do think the Jays will win the series.
Don't get me wrong, I'll be extremely happy if we beat.
I want the Jays to win.
Oh, of course, I do too. But I felt like maybe we were talking about against the Pirates, and it's like Paul Skeens. I'm like, yeah, we're not winning against Paul Skeens.
Stupid question, but are the Jays at home?
Yes, they are at home.
They are.
I thought so, yeah.
It's at the Rogers Center.
Home record.
It's at the Sky Dome, Lane.
Rogers Center.
Sky Dome.
No, it's not the Sky Dome.
Oh, just call it the Sky Dome.
That's like saying that the new TD Coliseum is going to Cops Coliseum, and not
that's fine.
Well, not
the ACC.
Exactly.
Scotiabank.
If you want a ticket, you actually there is one section of the 500s that's down to $58 on StubHub. Someone's
really?
$528, but most of your 500s you're looking around $110 for 500. Wow.
During the week,
they're hot.
Game.
What can I say?
I mean, right now you actually get by the bullpen for 129. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Everything changed once they went on that winning streak and became first.
That's why
they went first. Those ticket prices went. Oh.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because like I remember, earlier in the year you get tickets for like $10. Where now we're looking on StubHub and they're not so cheap anymore.
No, they are not.
Like your cheapest ones, like I said, surprisingly up here for $58.
No, I think you can actually. I could be correct, but I could be wrong. But I'm pretty sure if you look for tickets like far out, you could still get decent deals. But you got to kind of buy it like way
further ahead in advance and just hope you can make it.
Yeah, you got.
What's the most expensive seat by home plate fare?
These ones down actually that's not terrible. $457. You're much just sort it. Oh, I thought it was gonna. Okay, best view would be the most expensive.
Like, how much would it be to go see them play Milwaukee?
can-
Milwaukee's a really good team.
All right, so you get these seats for $1,300 a seat,
Yeah.
which that's your view.
Pretty nice.
Hopefully, though, there's like actually something on the TV and not these random lines. That'd be strange. But yeah, the Jays have a series coming up, and two of us have picked the Twins to win the first one. Dan has picked the Jays. So, Dan, obviously tomorrow, send us that rivalry over. And I'm going to double this here. If you're so confident in your rivalry, I want you to post it all over social media that you're challenging both Lane and I.
Oh,
Will do.
I want not just the streaker points on the line. I want your confidence on the line.
Done deal.
You're going against the self-proclaimed sports analyst and someone who's more dashing than Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
I'll do it.
But I think on that, I think it's time we should wrap it up.
We gotta get ready for a pre-record.
We have a pre-record coming up. Just in case anyone is wondering, the New York Yankees are actually winning a baseball game at the moment, up 5-0 over the Red Sox in the 6th.
Oh, wow, the Red Sox. Ooh.
Yeah, they've been terrible this year against. Oh, hold on. We can't wrap it up just yet. You know why?
No comment.
Put down your phone. You millennial. Gas or ass. Edmonton could support a baseball team. Edmonton loves the Jays, and they love our minor league baseball. Rexall / Skyreach is going bye-bye, and it's heartbreaking. But if City Council doesn't rush on their change post-demolition, maybe a diamond.
I could actually see that being.
I'm going to go gas. 1,000% gas. I want to see more. Dan, I know you're shaking your head no, but what else do you do in the summer besides go to football and go to the mall in Edmonton?
I would say ass because of the weather. Baseball is a very long season now. You're starting like preseason in like March. The season starts in April. The season ends in October and September. I mean, it's practically winter in Edmonton.
Your opinion is ass.
Well, I know what Dan's trying to say though. Like,
build a dome.
Yeah, but not every city has $1 billion the way Toronto has.
Team up with the Elks, who need a new stadium as well.
I think Vancouver could support a baseball team. I think Montreal could support a baseball team.
Edmonton, definitely.
I say no, Edmonton. I gotta say.
But Dan, if you're saying Montreal would have the exact same problem as Edmonton.
Well, they had baseball before. It may work.
But I'm saying it could work.
And plus, they opened the Olympic Stadium. The Olympic Stadium is big enough to support a baseball team.
But I'm saying, I'm 100% saying gas. I think it's very, very possible.
And Edmonton's not big. There's only 500,000 people, roughly.
So, but you'd have everyone from Calgary, and you get everyone from Saskatchewan.
I don't know. That's just my opinion. Maybe I'm crazy.
Like, the World Series ended in the end of October. There's no reason why we can't be playing. It's not like they're hosting the World Series. And I'm just going to say this. I would love to watch a World Series in a blizzard. I think it'd be great. We got the Mud Bowl in football. I'm sorry, it makes for great TV.
Baseball in a blizzard.
Now you know what? I'm on Google now. I'm going to Google what was the weather like October 25th in Edmonton.
Oh, let's play a guess. Let's see who. You and me, Dan. Let's guess it. October.
Okay, I would guess like plus 12.
In October? No way.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say plus 4 degrees, but it was cloudy.
First of all, show me a lot. Not Hamilton.
What? You have any prediction if it was sunny? Was it windy?
Wayne. I think it's Wayne.
But it was 14 degrees in the rain.
12 in the Wayne.
Yeah. I'm going to say October, West Coast. I'll say
well, it's not West Coast. It's just West.
He said Edmonton. That's like West Coast.
No, West Coast is Vancouver, bro.
It's not that much further.
Yeah, it is. It's night and day.
And sunny.
Wow.
Why can't you play baseball in that?
It's really cold.
No snow.
Well, no, you wouldn't.
15 and sunny it's not warm, but you could do it.
And but you're basically saying you don't want to put a team there because it'll be cold in the World Series for a week.
I don't think
That's
they
just
care
idiotic.
about that. I don't think they actually care about that.
I mean, look at April in Toronto. We had to close the dome. We had our jackets on in Toronto. At the beginning
Because
of the year.
Torontarians are babies.
Yeah, I know.
I don't
I
think the
live in
players
Sault
care.
Ste. Marie, and it would be minus 20, and kids are walking to school, and Toronto will be canceling the bus because it's minus 2.
Yeah, I know.
It's a different culture.
Yeah, it is.
I swear
Got
in
a point.
Edmonton, I think they could sell it out just
Wow.
for the excitement.
The
Well,
Kings
yeah,
out the Eskimos, bro.
And the
Okay,
good
they
thing-
can't sell out the Elks because number 1, there's no parking.
Oh, sorry.
Number 2, you got to pay to take the shuttle.
Like,
Number 3, yes, you do. It's $2 to take the shuttle from there to the game.
yeah, I
which is
know. Yeah.
outraging when you already can't park there. Number 3, the team is no good, and it hasn't been any good for about 5 years. Number 4, everyone's mad they changed the name.
Yeah.
Baseball team would bring excitement.
it
Either
was.
that or why don't the Jays just as a trial run do a tour across different Canadian cities for home games?
Well,
Because they're
actually,
making too much money at the Sky Dome. Like,
They
Well-
can make more. They can make more even in a smaller arena. Can you imagine if arena could only hold 15,000 people, but they were charging $300-400 a ticket and they were selling it out? Because they would.
oh, yeah, that's true.
It would
too.
still be cheaper for a family to do that than fly.
Yeah, that's true.
I
And,
100%. I am so gassed on this that if there was an Axe body spray down here, not a lighter, I'd set him. I would light the house.
well,
on.
Jacob, you bring up a good point, but I
I do. I'm really smart.
have a random thought here.
Random
And
thought.
I don't know. Again, this is just me out of the top of my head, so don't quote me on this. But I wonder if the Jays have sort of like a lock on Canada that you can't put a team. You know, they have like
No,
a
it
sort
had
of like
the
a,
Montreal Expos before.
yeah, that was before though. You never know. You know,
No,
you
but
hear-
I mean, they had the Expos and the Jays at the same time.
yeah, but yeah, things can change. Or you can buy rights. Not like I think the Leafs have like I know the remember that team that the Leafs tried to get Hamilton tried to get a hockey team.
Why?
The Leafs
At
were like,
least block.
"Ah." I'm just wondering. Like I don't know. I don't know anything. I'm not saying there's a thing, but there are certain teams that can buy geographical rights
Like,
to be like.
I don't think you have the
nope.
geographical rights of a country, though.
yeah, a whole country? I don't think so.
I could see that.
Rogers
same
is pretty
restriction
rich.
in Ontario.
yeah,
Rogers is pretty rich.
they are.
True. They're like
Honestly,
mad
I
at-
can see Ottawa supporting a baseball team, as dumb as that sounds.
that
Because
doesn't
you got to
sound wrong.
imagine, you got to think, right? Even though it's in Edmonton,
I think
far
Edmonton
away.
is a good spot.
but the Jays know, hey, we're Canada's team. That's their
for sure.
selling point.
Because of
They
people
literally
who,
sell that to people and go, well, if you come play for Canada, everyone's going to be like, oh, Canada. And they're going to cheer for you no matter. And none of it,
home.
we're not like the Leafs. You're actually going to get fans in none of it because we're the only team here. So everyone's going to love you. And they're going to send you Hershey Kisses every day onto your doorstep. And
Well-
they're gonna bring you their own personal maple syrup bottle, and they will all love you.
well, same reason too why you see Maple Leaf fans and Montreal fans out in Edmonton, Calgary, Vancouver, just because sir, replace the team there. If you've been a Blue Jay fan your whole life, you're not going to stop just because there's a new team in your backyard, right?
That's not true. You might change your mind though. You might be like, well, I can't really watch the Jays except for on Sportsnet every day, and it costs me $15,000 now because I got to pay this Sportsnet Now fee. But
Yeah.
but I can go to this. I can check out this new team that's in my backyard here for $20,
Well,
and I get the
I'll-
original rights.
I'll put it this way, Lane. When I moved to Hamilton, I did not become a Ticats fan because I'm a diehard Argo fan.
Yeah, but they're
I-
close. I'm just saying,
Yeah, it's a little different. You
Edmonton and
can't compare
Toronto's
that.
different, man.
I think in Edmonton, you will get fans who will become fans of the Edmonton baseball team. Let's call them the Edmonton Eskimos.
Yeah.
But the Edmonton
The Edmonton Errors.
the Edmonton
Balls.
Balls.
Those
By
are
the way,
balls
in college
too, man.
football 25, I named my quarterback Toss Ball from my road to glory, which I thought was perfect. But I think what would happen is I think you would get fit people who are just fans of both. I think
I mean, you
younger
would, I'm just saying,
people
but
would be.
you
But
would
the thing is,
attract a
I don't
fan
think it hurts
base.
the Jays at all because I don't think they're selling out the Sky Dome because people from Edmonton are flying over there.
No, I know. But
Well, there are quite a
And
few
Sportsnet would
people.
still own the rights to it. If anything, the only thing it would do is maybe make it where, if anything, I think it would help the fan bases out west. And I still think you would still have fans at the end of the day. If you're in Vancouver and you're looking for a destination to go fly to a game, you're going to go to Toronto before Edmonton. No
but see,
disrespect
Jacob,
to
there's my
Edmonton.
point right there. Who gets the TV rights? Because Rogers wants to push the Jays.
Yeah, but
They don't
Rogers
want
would
to
still
push
have
the
the TV rights
Edmonton
because
baseball.
Rogers owns the MLB rights in Canada.
Right,
Rogers
that's what
could buy
that's
the
what I'm
team too in
saying. But
Edmonton, right?
when you really think about what I'm saying here, I'm like, you know, Edmonton, like they're not going to be like, oh, we want to support it. We're not going to show a team. They want to push the Jays down your throat. They would be like,
No, but at
Jays
the end of the
on
day, Lane,
Sportsnet.
the more they have to broadcast, the more money the broadcasters will make because the more ads they can sell. They hate it when they're playing the Jays on 5 different channels.
Oh, for sure.
They're not making as much money off that. If they could have the Jays on 3 and the Edmonton Balls on 2 and then have it on a blackout, so you got to pay extra to get their special MLB thing so you can watch the Jays when you're outside of Edmonton all of a sudden.
They're laughing.
Now they're going to be laughing, going, ha 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 ha.
Laughing to the bank.
So I'm still saying gas. I still think Edmonton could support. As interesting enough, minor league baseball in Western Canada is huge.
Oh, I said
I
gas
think-
to it.
I
I
think
was just thinking of
Canada.
different things.
I think Canada
I
as
think
a
Vancouver though,
country.
would get one before Edmonton.
I think Canada as a country could support 2 more MLB teams. I just don't think Edmonton is the city you put it in.
Well, where do you put it?
Like I said, I would put in Ottawa,
No,
Vancouver,
it's too close.
or Montreal.
Ottawa's too close. In
It
my
would go
opinion.
Montreal, Vancouver.
Yeah, that's where I would put it.
But
I
then
am probably
again,
crazy. I think Ottawa could do it, but
I
we'll
still
wait
think
and see.
though I wouldn't mind seeing a team at Edmonton at all.
Yeah.
I think it'd
look
be
at the
good.
Oilers. Look at
Well,
what
I
the
would
Oilers
like
are
to
doing.
see it. I just don't think it would happen.
You have to remember, Dan, you're saying the Elks can't sell tickets. The year that they first got McLeod Bethel-Thompson and Eugene Lewis and Kenny Lawler, you got to remember, this wasn't that long ago. They sold over 40,000 tickets for their first game.
Yeah,
and
the
then they
arena
stopped.
holds 70.
Okay, but Dan, 40,000 is still huge.
No, I get that.
That stadium's too big for football. That's like a soccer stadium, but they're just using it. That
Yeah.
stadium was not designed for football.
No, I know.
It was designed for soccer. Like BMO Field's technically way too small for soccer.
It is, yeah.
But I think as Edmonton needs a new home, so maybe if you get an MLB team in there, maybe you can build a multi-purpose stadium.
Why
that
would
can
you
be
call
baseball
them
and football.
stadium then if the Elks leave?
And maybe then Edmonton gets a soccer team too.
Oh my goodness.
But seriously, why not? Like you're saying, oh my goodness, 500,000 people can easily support it.
I get
There's
that.
money in
But it went from-
Edmonton. It's working class people who want to go watch sports and not go to a fancy dinner and spend $185 on a steak and a glass of water.
No, I get that. I'm just
Lane's so disgusted with you, he's just turned off his cam. Oh, he's not disgusted anymore.
yeah, he's back.
But I think it is time we wrap up for the night. But this is a topic. If you want us to talk more relocation of where we think teams could go in Canada.
Yeah, we got a lot of viewers back against that, and you think Edmonton's got the money for it. They have like a lot of money there. I just don't think I got quite enough people, and
I love doing this to Dan because he always
Nice.
looks like, what am I doing?
well, I don't like it.
I know.
I'll do it.
Where'd they go? But anyways, thank you very much, everyone, for watching the Streakers Out podcast live.
Great
edition.
question. I love it.
Great question, Keith. Thank you. And thank you for all your comments. And thank you, everyone else, for watching. I know some people aren't comfortable commenting, and that's A-okay. But thank you very much for watching. We will
Send us an email to the phone number.
We will be back with our pre-recorded show. Plus, we'll have some awesome content coming up on Labor Day with some special guests. So thank you very much for watching.
Cool.
I'm the self-proclaimed sports analyst, joined by Lane Dashing Dashco. I think maybe John Cena, but I can never see the guy. And Mr. Moore for your money.
Woo!
Until next time, stay classy, Loyalist College.
Bye-bye.